Right, I've brought you to a place which I've been wanting to visit for ages actually, and I've got no GoPro, so my face is constantly going to be quite close to the camera. But I'm standing on an old section of the M4 motorway when it used to go up to the A404 M, past Cox Green, and then up to the ticket roundabout. And yeah, this is basically standing on what was an old carriageway, and no trees have grown on it. Well, there's a few bushes, but that view now, I'm looking eastbound, and over there is a motorway towards Slough. There's a plane in the distance, which must have obviously come from Heathrow. And yeah, I always noticed a row of trees when I was younger, and I used to be driving along the motorway, but I never knew what it was until I found this random article on the web one time, and that explained a bit more about it. And down there on the M4 actually, there was a load of work going on, smart motorway, and the most visible evidence of the motorway is this little bit here, where there was a bridge. Sort of see the curbstones over the distance. Get a better view here. But yeah, this is all moss grown on concrete. Concrete like Belgian motorways, or that horrible yellow stuff on the M25. So you get a bit further round. And here is some old tarmac. Okay, so I'm wrong. So here's the old tarmac motorway. Let's scrape some of the moss away. I'm sorry for scraping the moss away, because there's probably a little ecosystem under there. And all curbstones. That was a bit I scraped away earlier. And so this was just a bridge going over this river, which is called the Cut, which goes all the way from Bracknell down to the Thames at Bray. And yeah, look, old tarmac motorway, abandoned, or rather not abandoned, but redirected, because the M4 wasn't meant to go off towards Reading the way it does at the moment. The M4 was going to go north, I think it's north anyway, up to the M40, and then swing left at north of Reading. But the residents up there apparently didn't like it, and so what they did was completely change the direction of the M4. And I've been wanting to visit this little bit of history for quite some time now, probably about 2 years. And me and a mate went over the other side, where you can sort of see the way the motorway swings round, but there's not much over there, there's just a load of grass. I mean, look, there's the old tarmac dumped. And then, yeah, quite obviously curbs. Bit of metal frame and an old bridge, so yeah, it doesn't look much more than, you know, 2 carriageways in each direction, or 2 lanes in each direction, sorry. And all you've got now, and I feel sorry because there was a deer up there running away from me just now, and the last thing I need him to do is run into the motorway. Oh, he's still over there, scared, watch for me. Alright mate, I'm going to go in a second, and you're going to get your field back and do a little bit of wood. Yeah, pretty impressive actually to think that this is still here from the 60s. I mean, it must be difficult to, well, why get rid of it? It's still a bridge over a river. But basically, yeah, the river would have run under here. So I'm standing on where cars would have been driving along once upon a time in the 60s, late 60s. And so there's probably dates from about the same time as the Holiday Inn in Maidenhead, which is actually in Cox Green. And pretty much when Cox Green sort of developed from a village into a much bigger satellite area of Maidenhead. itself. Well, this is really cool. I love this. And yeah, there you go. M4. So I'm standing right in the middle of what would have been the M4 motorway. I feel sorry for that deer over there, because that deer is still sort of watching me. Where's he gone? Okay, can't see him. Well, that's it, really. Not much more else to say. Just some tiny bit of history, right in the middle of the field, a field, where you just wouldn't expect it to be. It's fantastic.